What's an expense ratio and why should you care about it if you're an investor? Stick around and I'm going to explain everything you need to know about expense ratios. So here's just a quick example of one of my favorite ETFs. It's called VOO, that's the ticker symbol. It's a Vanguard S&P 500 index fund. And basically this is considered a passively managed index fund and it tracks the S&P 500 benchmark. So the expense ratio is very low. It doesn't cost a lot. There's not very many fees to invest your money in this type of fund. And looking at the 0.03 percentage, that basically means for every $10,000 invested into this fund, you're paying $3 per year. Keep in mind, this is not a one-time fee. It happens every single year based on how many dollars are invested in this fund. So it's always important to keep a close eye on what the expense ratio is. And generally speaking, you want to try to stick below 1%. Otherwise, the fees are just going to be very massive over the long term. Now, there's a different type of fund called an actively managed fund. You'll see more of those in like your 401k plan, and those generally have an expense ratio of 1% or greater. I personally try to stay away from those types of funds because it's just so expensive. But the reason the expense ratio is so high is because there's a manager that's handpicking all the stocks that are inside of those funds. And so you're paying a higher fee for that. Whereas something like this is just tracking a simple benchmark, like the S&P 500, so it doesn't cost as much. And sometimes if you got a 401k plan, you have no other option but to pick the actively managed fund, and it's going to be more expensive, but sometimes you just got to work with what you got. But if you enjoyed the video, please follow for more. Thanks.